No.
Hello, everybody, and we're on another Zero Interest. That's the name of the show. I remember now.
Yeah.
Been a little while since we've done one of these. I think it was like a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're doing something a little bit different this time. We're actually a couple of episodes into season 3 at this point for what we've recorded, but we actually forgot to do one, so this one's going to come out before those, which is World of Remnant, the episodes of World of
hmm
Remnant for season 2. So, first of those on this is basically just an entire
Yeah.
episode based on the exposition stuff that they do, so we're not going to bother with like a synopsis of stuff, so we're just going to go one by one and talk about each one and what it said and the implications
Yeah.
of such. And it means I don't really have to do much editing for this one because I won't have to cut things in, so that's nice. I appreciate that. It takes me like an hour to do each one of these. So
We did World of Remnant 1, Dust first.
Dust.
And that talked about what exactly like people use dust for. You can put it in clothing, you can put it in weapons, you can combine dust, you can use dust in its raw form. There's 4 different types of dust, those being fire, ice, lightning, wind. And you can combine them in various combinations to achieve different effects.
Yep.
And they kind of just you can even put the dust in your own body, you crazy little boy. You can do that.
So we have seen it used in most of the ways mentioned up
Yeah.
to this point in the show, which is
I've
like,
not seen somebody insert it in their body
that's the
unless you
only one we
count.
haven't seen. Like the raw
Yeah.
form, we've seen like Roman threw a red dust crystal at Ruby's feet in the first episode, and then shot it, and it exploded. Raw form. We've seen dust ammunition, obviously, a lot of it. We've seen using it in more specific styles, like Weiss's stuff uses it to incorporate with her semblance to make it do
Yeah.
weird and wacky things. We've seen the weaving it into the clothing thing with Cinder, which is why her powers were so very confusing for a while. Everyone thought it was fire, but no, that was just fire dust weaved into her clothes, so that she can use that with her semblance, which is glass.
hmm
And yeah, there's a lot of different ways you can use it to amplify a combat style. So it makes for very interesting and creative ways you can make a character and make them an interesting combatant.
Yeah, you could have somebody who's like, I only use raw dust, and basically like, you know, trying to work with that without destroying yourself, because that requires a lot of discipline, apparently.
That's basically what Weiss does, really. Is she has dust chambers.
Yeah, I
of
was
a
thinking
weapon, but
about
doesn't actually
Weiss.
fire them at all. It's just
Yeah,
dust.
and her semblances are all like her glyphs and everything depend upon the dust she uses.
It's not entirely
Uh,
clear exactly how she uses it, but yes.
I'd be interested to see more on exactly how her powers work now because of this. Uh, but yeah, there was a lot of really kind of cool information. I really like the fact of, you can just combine dust. And I'm like, if you combine in different quantities and ratios, do you get different abilities and
Yeah,
things?
it's like the sub elements from Naruto. Like you combine water and wind and you get ice. In this case, you combine, say, I don't know, fire and ice. I suppose you would get water. Logically,
or maybe even you could work that into getting like steam.
yeah. In like I say, in different quantities, you would be able to get either
Yeah.
water or steam or boiling water. I suppose. Just any
Yeah,
of that would work.
there's lots of like that really makes the idea of making a character for this series, because this series really does have a very big template for you to make your character in,
It does. Now,
like
it does.
astonishingly so. Yeah,
In
just
season
looking
one,
at that.
it was hard work to get anything off the ground, but recently it's just massively opened up, largely because of these World of Remnants.
Yeah,
Because they give so much exposition on how the world works that you can base stuff off. Most notably, that last point that it makes about how you could use dust, which was to incorporate it into your own body, and that has been a source of rampant speculation for how that would work, and some fun, creative ideas.
Yeah, I can see that playing into it. The second world of Remnant was Kingdoms.
Kingdoms! This is basically the starting point for discussing the kingdoms in more detail later on when we get to Season 4, just before Season 4.
So, hey, there's kingdoms, there's 4 of them, and there's nomadic tribes that go around. The kingdoms have, like, their safe havens that you go and you can live in, like Vale and Vacuo. Those places are nice and safe, and they're stopping the Grim as much as they can.
Yep, they have strong militarized forces for the most part, and they have natural barriers that keep the Grim out.
Yeah.
Through various means.
Or you can wander around with your little caravan or nomad group, but those guys tend to disappear a lot.
Yep, same with people that try and settle down outside of the kingdoms. They are very tenacious, and they probably think it through very thoroughly on how they're going to do this, because you have to, and have decent defenses, but eventually, inevitably, it goes wrong.
I bet you there's like one like nomadic group that's just super awesome because they've just been out traveling for like decades or something, and like you can't stop them, right?
We'll get to that.
Oh, is there one? Because like I was thinking, okay, you have nomads, you have like a group of super cool people who are like super powerful because all they do is fight Grim 24/7.
We'll get to that.
Oh, now I'm excited.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all the information we got from the Kingdoms episode. I mean, it outlines in very, very broad strokes that it's run by a council, and there are huntsman academies where people train to be huntsmen and fight Grim. That's pretty much all we got.
Yeah.
Very bad.
Then we had World of Remnant 3, Grim. So, Grim are terrifying. They don't need to eat people.
They
most likely. Yeah. And they're attracted to negative thoughts, which you told me, Casey. That whole attracted to negative thoughts is what really makes them terrifying. Because if you're fighting and you're starting to lose, more will come.
Yeah. And it gives you implications of, how do you fight that? Well, I suppose we just have to make sure the populace is happy all the time and no one ever feels bad about anything. You get sort of a we happy few scenario going on.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna bring up. We happy few. Just take your happy pills.
Yeah, that either We Happy Few or possibly that film Equilibrium, where everyone took a pill to stop them from feeling emotions. Which is basically what the Great War was about, more or less. I mean, they went into more detail about it recently, but yeah, more or less that's what that was. You have to be emotionless so the Grim won't come.
I was talking to Casey about this beforehand, but the whole like attracted to negative emotions thing, like that makes me think of like Shadows from Persona, in a weird way. And so I was thinking like, oh, you could totally do a Persona and RWBY crossover. You could make it work, but apparently there's more information on Grim later on.
It wouldn't even be that difficult. You would literally just say, hey, Izanami's plan from Persona 4 worked. Done.
Yeah, basically.
That's literally all you would have to do.
Yeah.
It's a bad end from Persona 4. That's all it is.
That actually does, like, if you really... That's the easy way to do it. Yeah, you could... I mean, Persona 3 obviously would be, like, you'd have to make it more convoluted to make it be like, yeah, either A, this is the actual fall, or B,
well, the moon's broken.
The fall didn't go wrong. Oh.
The moon's broken. It's shattered.
Okay. I could make that work.
Either game at this point, really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Gosh darn it! I'm probably gonna start writing a fic that I will never finish.
Yeah,
Now.
that's how you do. Same as me. We're both terrible.
Yeah. Um. But yeah, Grim have more monstrous, terrible forms, and they get scarier the longer they live. Things which,
They get smarter and scarier the longer they live. They get bigger. They get more armored, more menacing appearance, and most importantly, they get smarter.
mhm. Which Casey already exposited to me earlier in part of the show did as well. Um, so there's that.
I
Grim
never
are
know. Is that the right
terrifying.
hand for saluting? I'm always confused.
That's right. Yeah.
Right hand. Yeah, okay. I
Yeah.
got that right then.
Then you have World of Remnant 4, which is Aura, which we
Mm.
found with Chinese subs. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know
was
why.
weird. We looked it up in a playlist, and there was no part 4 for these for some reason in, like, just the regular Rooster Teeth playlist, but whatever.
So this was Aura. Basically, Aura is the soul manifesting, and manifesting through Aura makes it become a semblance.
Mhm.
It's like soul power. Like it's like your key, basically. If you were in Dragon Ball, it'd be your key. I feel like
No.
it would be a much like
If you want to make anime comparisons, you can make anime comparisons. Hunter x Hunter is probably one of the best ones. Uh, I would say Persona, but it's not really quite the same at all. Um,
yeah, Persona not wouldn't work.
no.
I feel like
I mean, it's
I don't think
apparently
anywhere.
unique to you. Like, your persona is more or less unique to you.
Yeah, well, that's your semblance. It's your unique power. Your
Yes.
I'm a very special person power, which would be very interesting in Persona because hey, my persona is my semblance.
There is one that's like that, actually. You'll see it very soon. Now that I think about it,
Oh,
next couple of episodes.
it reminds me a lot of in terms of unique powers. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure
Yeah.
has everybody has their stand, and their stand can do typically one unique thing that other stands can't tend to do. Like this sound can make onomatopoeia affect the physical properties of an object, or this stand turns everything it touches into a dinosaur. That's a thing.
God damn it!
Turns
Ethan
people into
F's been
dinosaurs.
getting at me about watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now you say you can turn things into. Okay, but yes, that actually is a more apt comparison than Persona would be. Is yes, it can do
Yeah.
a unique thing. I don't quite buy the whole every semblance. Sorry, I almost said stand. Every semblance is unique. It's kind of not. There are
Yeah.
implications that it's semi-hereditary, not necessarily entirely hereditary.
I don't think that you can have really unique powers with like when you have broad things like speed.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean,
Like
Nora's is absorb lightning and use it. Okay, so she has lightning powers. There are going to be thousands of people that will have lightning powers.
like there's stands where my stand is a specific type of algae that if you go up in elevation, you will start to die from it being poisoning you. Like there's crazy, unique, very specific types of stands where like okay, I can buy that that's unique. Like, but
Yeah.
uh,
It's kind of like a devil's in the details sort
Yeah.
of thing. Like, both Blake and Sun have clone semblances, but Blake's are literally shadows. They are not corporeal in any way. Sun's are corporeal, and not entirely clear on how they work, but you know they work in tandem with each other, and you can only make two of them, and they can be destroyed. That's about all we know about it. But they're both clones, but they work slightly differently. So you could argue unique. Air quotes.
that's like saying my speed power only works when I take 3 steps forward instead of 2.
Yeah,
You know.
it's kind of a semantics argument, but yeah. So,
But other than that, aura protects you until it wears out. So aura's defense, semblance is your offensive power, is how it describes it.
basically, and the implication is they work off of the same, let's say, energy pool. So if you use your semblance, you are also compromising your defense.
So there's a lot to work with here in terms of how combat works. But I'm really glad they put the thought into it.
Yeah. Like, this was the thing that we needed, like, for the entirety of Season 1, we needed this information, and they only gave it to us in Season 2. That was a problem. But once they did, it's basically a how-to for character creation in this setting. So.
Yeah, you could totally make a character with these things. My semblance is the power of... I don't know. I just tried to think of a semblance. Oh, my semblance is the power of flight. There's a semblance.
It's a very basic one. If I had to come up with a semblance for myself right now, and I literally did in the past 20 seconds, it would be I could sit down in a chair and remove myself from the world. Like, literally make myself entirely incorporeal.
Ah, that'd be kind of a cool thing, I guess.
Kind of.
I'm not sure what it would do. I don't actually have a semblance in mind for myself if I were to possibly create my OC right here.
I mean,
OC
there's also the implication and the confirmation recently that not all semblances have to be beneficial. It's entirely possible for semblances to actually be negative and cause problems. So, you know, you can assume that some kid goes through one of the combat training academies like Signal, the early ones, unlocks his semblance, and finds out he has the power to kill rats by looking at them. And that's all his power is. And he immediately flunks out of combat school.
Or your semblance is poison, but you end up poisoning yourself until you learn how to use it.
Yeah, so... Yeah, you could do fun stuff with the negative ones as well. There's all sorts of stuff you could do with the information that they give you in these episodes, and it's really good stuff and worthwhile that they did this, considering, again, they couldn't have done this in the show. It would have been incredibly awkward to try and fit this in a 2.5-hour season. So... Yeah.
No, I get it. I'm just glad that we have these World of Remnant things for this kind of stuff. And that's it for the Season 2 World of Remnant.
Yeah, not too late, but we did it. Yay.
Once we finish off Volume 3, we'll do World of Remnant for Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
And jump right into that.
Yeah. Because that's what you're going to be wanting to do after Volume 3.
Oh. Okay.
So
I have a feeling bad things are going to happen. Okay.
I've already said many times that bad things happen in Season 3.
Yeah.
So, thanks for watching. We'll be back with another one. The start of Season 3, I guess, since, like I said, we're going to... Yeah. Alright. Bye then.
Bye.
Oh, see you in a few days. I get to do that again.